Citizens who attended the City Council meeting today to voice their approval or opposition to the proposed admission fee to the City Zoo were surprised by a delay of the issue. The Council, after conferring with members of the Park Board, decided to postpone any decision until the Park Board holds public hearings on the matter. Charles Ringler, chairman of the Park Board, told me the proposed improvements of the zoo cannot be made unless the $1 charge is put into effect. Ringler said the first public hearing is still being planned.
We hope to have the hearing starting next week, have one next week and the following week, where we will invite the public. They can come in and express themselves, their feelings toward the charge, and we hope to explain to them the reasons for the charge.
Would you be in favor of the county stepping in and helping out on this?
No, we're seeking that information now and help from them. I do have a letter to the county, which was mailed last week. It's been hard to reach them. Several have been out of town, but we do want to meet with the total Commissioners Court.
At County Commissioners Court today, Mrs. Sharon Bradford called for the county to step into the zoo problem.
Recommended that it might be a good idea for the county to consider taking on the project of a new zoo, locating it somewhere other than in the only large inner-city park that Fort Worth has.
Based on a report compiled by the Parks and Recreation Department, an admissions fee will result in less vandalism at the zoo due to improved facilities. And if computed on the basis of a family of 4, the $1 admission fee will cost less than the current charges. Opposition to the admission fee, however, is strong. But across the state, other cities have gone to the admission fee system, including Dallas, San Antonio, Abilene, and Brownsville. And now even Houston is considering the same proposal in the near future. Jim Green, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
County Employees Union President Garfield Thompson appeared before the court seeking such improvements as uniforms for precinct employees, additional holidays, and the day off on your birthday. 5 of the 6 points discussed were determined to involve, at least in the minds of the court, additional county expenditures, so they were set aside until the January budget hearings. The 6th issue, that of civil service protection for county employees, was offered to the court in form of a motion by Commissioner Skeet Richardson. It met a 2-2 vote because Commissioner Dick Anderson was not in attendance today. Richardson explained his feeling about the civil service proposal.
Judge Green has said he's against it because it's the same thing as classification. Well, there's nothing less true. Classification has nothing to do with the firing practices of the county. Right now, what I'm saying is that we could have a civil service commission. We would appoint a civil service commission made up of 3 members. Then if some employee had a problem where he felt he got fired and he shouldn't have been fired, he can go before this commission and they can make the decision.
The court was asked by County Judge Howard Green to inject itself as a co-defendant with the Corps of Engineers in a suit filed by a number of ecology groups who are opposed to the Trinity River Canal Project. Commissioner Richardson and Commissioner Mebus took opposite views.
My feeling was that the county shouldn't be involved in this since we have no control over monies going into this project and most of us hadn't had a real chance to look at it.
This is for progress. We have to have it. We've already gone too far not to have it. I'm very definitely in favor of it, and I think as soon as the rest of our commissioners' court study it, they'll see likewise.
In the final analysis, the court was disinclined to take any definitive action on any of the matters until it had had time to give all of it more study. Jerry Taff, Channel 8 News on the Move at the Courthouse in Fort Worth.
We want to see the city act immediately in the removal of illegal signs in the city of Dallas. It is our conservative opinion that Dallas has over 200,000 existing illegal signs today. As an example, at the business intersection of Northwest Highway and Abrams Road, that's the area where I live, there are presently 62 illegal signs. We want to again offer our help in a cleanup campaign to remove these eyesores, with a constant effort to get these signs removed on streets such as Lemon Avenue, Buckner Boulevard, and Jefferson. The council could see the seriousness of the problem and the effectiveness of a cleanup campaign. Effective cleanup authority would have to be given to this program, such as Councilman Smith's ordinance, paragraph 407, and this should be started today.
Well, we are working with the Texas Education Agency and with legislators in an attempt to get the listing of instructional materials broadened. At the present time, under state law, the Texas Education Agency can list for us on a limited basis. Usually that's 5 books per subject at a given time when a particular subject or curriculum area is under consideration.
Do you think 5 textbooks at a particular level on a particular subject is enough?
That's usually enough if we have the right combinations. But when we have to select from within a specified 5, then it's entirely possible that some textbook that would fit in well in a teaming of books might not be present on the list.
I think this building here today stands as a symbol of the sentiment both in the executive branch and in the Congress to try to bring the decision-making process as close to the people as possible. Rather than leave everything to the arbitrary will and discretion of a few people who sit at the apex of the triangle in Washington, the decision-making process should be restored to intelligent managerial people in federal government at the regional level.
While you're out there on the course, what do you think about?
Well, mostly I'm just thinking about the strategy that we planned before the race. That's all, that's all that's going through my mind at the time of the race.
And what was the strategy today?
Well, we were just trying to do some pace work the first 2 miles and just pace the first 2 miles and race the last 2,
When did you first think that you would probably come in first?
Well, I've been thinking it all week long, even before the race, and I just knew it.
Louise, as I understand it, what you're doing right now is illegal.
That is correct, but I'm doing it for a friend. So no charges, it's just a favor I'm doing it to a friend. This is how the law states I have to do it right now.
Well, now, why is it illegal for you to cut a man's hair when a barbershop can cut a woman's hair?
This is what it's all about. I'm cutting his hair, and I can cut it and do it well, and he's very happy with my haircuts. But our laws really are not very clear exactly who can do what, and that's why we're trying to organize to establish exactly what our laws are, why we're bounded, and why this man cannot come to me to get his hair cut if he prefers me.
Excuse me a minute, let's ask you, why did you come to a beauty shop to get your hair cut?
Because she does a better job.
Do barbers tend to cut it a little bit too much or something?
They're not as particular.
As the trend of today, the men are coming in with the longer hairstyles. They're really more in our field, and we know it and have been trained in the longer hair. We know how to permanent wave the hair. We know how to style the hair to fit the face because we are dealing in a territory we know. And because we know it and we're more capable, we feel we should be the ones to do it.
Comparing your two licenses, do you have to have more training than barbers?
Really, our hairdressing training requires 1,500 hours now.
And what does barber?
I think around 1,200, something like that.
This was passed by the last legislative session. Do you see any reason why they made this kind of a rule?
I really don't. I think that my point is they're discriminating against the sex of a man. I'm fighting for the man to have the right to go into any place he should want to and get what done he wants done. And this is what it really boils down to, is be fair to the men.
Do you feel that there's a special significance to the fact that you're holding this display in an establishment bank in Fort Worth?
I think it's extremely important, Jerry, and I feel very good about it. I don't primarily run happy-go-lucky about nothing. The fact that the bank is willing to do this at some risk involved, I think is a very, very important factor. Having in mind then the problems, the situations that we're discussing right now in Fort Worth. Several of us are still rather surprised when we hear that the Chicano Art Show is being held at the Fort Worth National Bank. But while the people, we can feel that we are very appreciative that they have courage enough to risk it, we want others also to know that we are not out in attempting to destroy or to hurt anyone.
General Services Administration Chief Robert Kunzig listed numerous federal agencies representing nearly every federal department that have offices located here in the new federal building. But he did not mention the one that's located here behind this door in the far corner of one of the upper floors of the Dallas Federal Building. In fact, it's not listed on the building directory, nor anywhere else. But Channel 8 News has learned that behind this door are offices of the Central Intelligence Agency. Even the security people for the federal building here have nothing whatsoever to do with security for this particular part of the building. The CIA provides its own security. They have closed-circuit television inside their offices. They have their own alarm systems and so on. Actually, this door goes only into a small anteroom. Then there are locked metal doors that go from there. There's a telephone in the anteroom, which you pick up, and you get a secretary's voice. I asked the secretary if she could refer me to someone who could tell me what the CIA office in Dallas is for. She said that I would have to get that information from the Public Information Office in Washington. When I asked for that number, she suggested that I write a letter. Actually, this is not the only intelligence bureau located in the new Dallas Federal Building. Army Intelligence and Naval Intelligence both have offices also located here, but they do have their names on the doors and they're listed on the building directory. Somehow, it's not surprising at all to find a Central Intelligence Agency office in Paris, Bangkok, or anywhere else around the world. But what is the CIA doing here in Dallas, Texas? This is Roger McDonald, Channel 8 News on the Move at the new Dallas Federal Building.
Attaboy, okay. Go back, get your...
Come on,
Attaboy,
Pete.
Paul.
You know. Come on, Jeff. Come on, man. What do you got? Keep walking. You got his number?
Wow! Let's go, Stan. Over that. There you go. Let's go. Over that. Go,